Welcome to another stage analysis video. Today's video is the US and Canadian stocks watchlist. To get the daily stocks watchlist, go to stageanalysis.net, where we highlight the daily watchlists for the US market as well as the Canadian market and the UK market too. Okay, let's begin. Tonight's watchlist begins with BEST, which is best. As you can see from the chart on screen, this is a weekly chart. It's attempting to make a stage 2A breakout here above three recent highs. It's made a big base over the last year. It still hasn't cleared the early year resistance, but the relative performance has moved in line. The S&P 500 and has flattened out and has started to outperform. Volume is only around average at the moment, but the 30-week MA has been turning up. So this one is attempting a stage 2A breakout. Let's have a quick look at this on the daily. As you can see on the daily, it's breaking out above good 6 month range here. Like I said, it still hasn't cleared resistance from earlier in the year, but it's cleared three highs. And there was a little volume pop today, which is about 2 times the average volume. As I said, relative performance is moving to new highs. So this is definitely one to watch. Got 2 more days of trading this week, so there's still a chance it could meet the 2 times weekly average volume requirement that we have in the method. So, but the entry point on this one would be week close if it stays strong. So keep an eye on this one. Okay, next is COLL, which is looking like it's attempted to make a stage 2 continuation attempt. Quite a long way above its rising 30-week MA. It had looks like potentially if we go down to the daily, it had a gap breakout to move into stage 2, which I imagine was an earnings gap, and it's consolidated near its highs for the last few months and is now attempting to make a continuation move. So relative performance looks good. It had a little volume pop on the daily, so another one to watch. Cyber, we talked about this one yesterday. I just wanted to highlight it again. As you can see, we've broken above a recent high now in today's trading, so looks like on better volume as well. So this one is in one of the strong sectors that's come up this week, which was the cybersecurity sector. So definitely one to keep an eye on. It's been a good performer in the past. Okay, next. DERM. Another potential stage 2A breakout attempt. Volume again is still only average. Relative performance is moving to potentially new 52-week highs. It's had a big 2-year base here. Let's have a look at the daily chart. See on the daily chart, it's a strong volume day. It's had a very, very strong move over the last month, up 100% in a month. So this one may need some time to consolidate, but it's definitely one for the watch list. FATE. As you can see, this had a gap back above its 30-week moving average back in December, and is now attempting to make a continuation move higher, back to retest the highs of the year. Let's go down to the daily. On the daily, you can see it's making a kind of cup and handle pattern. Obviously, the gap up. You lose a bit of information there, but it's consolidated for around a month and has now moved strongly the last 3 days on increasing volume for the last 3 days. Relative performance moving back to new few month highs here. So, but it hasn't yet cleared this July resistance. So it's not at 52-week highs, but it's definitely making a stage 2 continuation breakout attempt. FIVN 59. As you can see from the weekly, it's been a long time in stage 2. multiple pullbacks to the 30-week moving average. It's traded in tight range near its highs for a good few months now. Zooming on the daily. As you can see on the daily, it's made another cup and handle pattern on the daily for a good 4 or 5 months here. So it's been consolidating sideways through December near its highs and is making a breakout attempt to new highs. Closed above the high today. FNGU, this is a ETF of FANG microsectors, and it's a leveraged, 3 times leveraged ETF. So not the kind of thing I would normally trade, but I thought it's worth highlighting as the FANG stocks are some of the major stocks. So it gives a good idea of what's going on at the moment. As you can see, it's breaking out to new highs. Let's move in on a daily. It's trading very strong near the highs, so we'd be looking for a pullback on this one. Imagine a fairly big pullback or a consolidation sideways. But relative performance is outperforming the market by quite a lot at the moment. ISR, this one's a single-digit midget. Actually, it's smaller than a single-digit midget. It's below 1, so this one's a real micro cap. But I just wanted to highlight it as it's showing some strong moves since November with good 100% plus gain. It's now making a attempt to make a stage 2 continuation breakout. Which, if you look on the daily, this volume is massive compared to the other recent volume. So it's clearly making a stage 2 continuation attempt. Another stage 2 continuation attempt is KSU, which strong relative performance throughout 2019, outperforming the S&P 500 by a long way. With a very solid stage 2 run. It's now attempting to make a new continuation breakout after bouncing off the 10-week moving average, which, as you can see, is the equivalent of the 50-day MA up in the daily. See, it's gone sideways for most of the last few months and popped on strong volume to new highs today. So with some good rising moving averages. LAZ, it's another stage 2A breakout a week or so ago, but it's now picking up some volume and moving higher. So this is more of a classic stage 2A breakout pattern. As you can see, the stage 2A breakout level was on average volume and didn't have much pop, but the following week has popped on some stronger volume. We've still got 2 days of trading left. So this one looks like it could meet the 2 times average volume requirement we look for. Relative performance has moved above its zero line and moving above the S&P 500. So it's starting to outperform. I think this one might be a good one to highlight what a monthly chart looks like at stage 2A. So yeah, that's clear. Stage 2A, one of the things we like to look for, or I like to look for at stage 2A breakout on the monthly chart, is for it to be moving back above its 30-month moving average at the same time as the stage 2A breakout on the weekly chart. So as you can see, this is the 30-month moving average, so we're clearing that. Let's go back to the daily. That's the daily. This is what you should see on a daily chart. It should be moving to new highs after breaking above a good range of at least 6 months or more. So, okay, on to the next. I wanted to highlight LEJU again. We talked about this one either yesterday or the day before, as it was attempting a stage 2A breakout. It's popped again today, and as you can see, the weekly volume is starting to look like it's moving above, getting close to the 2 times requirement. So again, let's have a look at this on the daily chart. as you can see, should be moving to new 6-month highs at least, which it is, and we've got some strong volume on this breakout the last 2 days, which is good to see. I'll just highlight the monthly chart again so you can get an idea. Stage 2A breakout on the month, so a monthly chart, like we said, should be moving back above the 30-month moving average at least. So this one, it clearly is. It's also moving above a good 2-year range here, so this one is looking quite strong. LSCC. Now this is one that's popped up a few times over the last 3 or 4 months, as it's been consolidating near its highs for a while now, after a very strong stage 2 run in 2019. So it popped on some volume today. So let's have a look at the daily. As you can see, it popped and tested the highs and some stronger volume. Let's see if that volume, let's zoom in on the intraday and see where that volume came in. So some of the volume might have come in from short selling near the highs actually, as it's obviously this squat candle here. Let's get back to the daily. So would be set an alert above the highs here, but would expect is to be looking for this to consolidate in a sideways or potentially continue higher again. So would set an alert above the highs, but we'll see. It would be good. We'd be looking for this kind of zone around the 21 area here for potential entry point, as then it's not too extended from its 50-day MA yet. Wanted to highlight plug again. This came up at the start of the week and is attempting to make a stage 2 continuation breakout on some very strong weekly volume, well above the weekly average. Zoom in on the daily. See, it's attempting to clear the highs. It's had some strong daily volume for the last 3 days. Go to the monthly, this one again. It's attempting to move into, it's already in stage 2 on the monthly. It's attempting to make the continuation breakout. Zoom down to the 2-hour chart, get an idea of what it looks like on a 2-hour chart. So what I find, I have my 2-hour chart set up exactly the same as the weekly chart, and so we use a 30 period moving average and a 10 period moving average, and the volume in the same way and relative performance in the same way, with a 52 period moving average on the relative performance. So I find this is really good for timing pullback entries and actually refining the entry point, as you don't want it to get too, you can see if it's too extended, and you can obviously time your entry much better, but you can use the full stage analysis method on the 2-hour chart in the same way. So as you can see, we had a top range here and it broke down into a stage 4 decline and then started to base in stage 1 around here, and then we've had a stage 2 breakout here on expanding volume. As you can see on the 2-hour chart, the volume rules apply exactly the same on the 2-hour chart. So we've got a pop in plug here with more than 2 times the average volume, and then it's expanded strongly with a strong expanding volume. So we'd be looking for a consolidation sideways here or pullback like this. We've got this cup pattern, so we'd be looking for a potential handle to form here or pullback back into the range. But it's, the 2-hour chart can be very useful for refining your entries. So let's get back to the daily, but I just wanted to highlight that one again. Okay, RUBI. This one's had some very strong volume for the last 2 weeks as it's stormed back towards its highs after consolidating for a good part of the last 5 months or so. Relative performance is still outperforming the S&P 500. If we zoom in on the daily, let's see, it's been a very strong move for the last, well, since before Christmas. It's now attacking the highs again. So this is another one that, due to this strong move and it being extended in the short term, you'd want to see it consolidate sideways for a while. But yeah, set alerts above the highs, and potentially this one could be one in a month or so. Okay, SEDG. This was highlighted in the stage analysis watch list at the start of the new year, as it broke out into, made a stage 2 continuation attempt, and so I just wanted to highlight again in the videos, as it's been an outperformer throughout 2019. As you can see, it started outperforming the S&P 500 in around late April time, and strongly outperformed since. So if we zoom in on the daily, see we've got it made a nice little cup and handle pattern here to break out at the start of the year, which is why we highlighted it, and it's now attempting to pop a little bit higher again. So I thought this one was worth highlighting again because it's a very nice little pattern. So this is the kind of thing I like to see on a daily chart when I'm doing short-term trades. It's like a little breakout above a volatility contraction or cup and handle with a volume expansion with relative performance near its highs and outperforming the market. SNPS, it's another one that was a very strong outperformer during 2019. It's been consolidating sideways for a good 4 or 5 months and is approaching the highs again. Volume has calmed down over the last few weeks. Let's zoom in on a daily. See, it's been fairly average volume. We had a little flush out here with some volume, but it's attacking the highs again. So again, we'll be setting alerts above the top of the range, but would want to see this consolidate sideways for a little bit again to level out a bit and let the MA catch up and give a better entry point. But this one's looking promising as well. Okay, and the final one today is AYI. This is another potential big base stage 2A breakout attempt. It's attempting to make the stage 2A breakout, but volume is only around average currently. And it's got resistance from 2018 and 2019, but that one's a little bit older, so it'd be less relevant. This being a more relevant resistance from 2019, so you want to see, looking for stage 2 breakout up into this level up here to clear the resistance. You can see it's starting to move in line with the S&P 500 in terms of performance, so you can see that pop up. Let's go to the daily. As you can see on the daily, it's approaching the highs last 6 months. So this one's potential stage 2A breakout attempt, but we're going to need to see some follow through and some volume coming into it. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's watch list. Thanks for watching, and to see more daily stocks watch lists, go to stageanalysis.net, and thanks again. See you later.